Hi, my name is Tony Shipman, the Chief Executive Partner of BDO Australia. I'm here today with Grant Saxon, who's our Office Managing Partner in Sydney. This is part of a leadership series around what we see as the future in the profession and for our clients. And today I'm going to be asking Grant a few questions about his perspective, both what he's seeing at the moment in business, but also in the future. So, Grant, thanks for joining us today. My first question for you, mate, is from an Australian business perspective, what do you think business leaders have learnt that they can take into the future?
Yeah, thanks, Tony, and happy to be here and happy to answer these questions. Look, for me, the big thing that's come out of this is just that, the assumptions that we go into any business with, all assumptions are there to be broken, and nobody could have predicted what we've been through or what we're going through at the moment. So I think the thing, to me, that we've gotten out of this is that nothing stands still. Certainly, uncertainty is it's a volatile world and it's an uncertain world, and it's been illustrated more than we could ever imagine over the last 6 months or so. So to me, for any business leader, don't rest on your laurels. Continually be ready for things that will come out of left field, because this has really come out of left field.
Volatility and uncertainty. I think it's a very key issue. So,
yeah.
Okay, my next question is, what would you encourage leaders to think about as they design their businesses for the future, particularly a post-COVID future?
Yeah, look, I think, the world as we know it, will change and is changing. I've heard a number of commentators talk about, we will return to some sort of normal, and things aren't going to change, as significantly as some of us think. But I don't quite agree with that, because I think, the way that we've been able to adapt as businesses to a remote working environment, that's, I was talking before about assumptions, that's an assumption about the workplace that has now been broken. And, we can meet remotely, the fact that we're meeting remotely now, and you and I, you more than me, sit on a whole lot of global committees and on the global board, and, you can have regular meetings, each week, whereas previously you'd be jumping on a plane once every 3 months or something to do that. So I think the way that we communicate across businesses will change, and what that means is that we can be more efficient in how we make decisions, I think, definitely. I also think that it opens up an ability to work with clients by getting the best people in front of them, regardless of where they're coming from. So, the best person for a job in Sydney might be somebody from New York, and it's a lot easier to get that person in front of the client. So I think that's something that we'll see more and more of. I also think, the flexibility of work that comes with this means that the talent pool opens up, because we can get a lot more access to a broader range of people that can come and work for us, that maybe can't be in the office, in a capital city every day. So I think there's lots of those things that will change in how we work, and they need to be balanced against the need for face-to-face interaction. I'm a strong believer that business gets done, irrespective of all that technology. Business gets done by bumping into people and having cups of coffee and interacting. And so we're going to have to balance this out to find a happy medium to be successful. But I think, that the way of working will change. There's a whole lot of other things, what does it mean to CBD rents in the long term? What does it mean to commercial property values? What does that then mean for what we use all these towers in the city for? There's a whole lot of things, if you really want to speculate as to what may change in the future and to what degree. But I do believe, as I said before, that the assumptions that we've grown up with are being challenged big time at the moment.
So throw the rule book out and plan for the future. So with that in mind, so what do you think might be the main challenges for all leaders as they plan for the future, particularly a post-COVID future, and how might they overcome some of those challenges, as you said?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges is how we, as teams, how we keep teams together and functioning as teams. I've always said that I believe people work for a whole lot of reasons, and none of us are any different to each other. Obviously you come to work to earn a wage. You come to work to be intellectually challenged if you're in a professional services firm, but you also come to work for social interaction and the people that you mix with every day. And I think if you take any of those pieces away, it will break. It'll break something. So, to me, one of the biggest challenges is in this world where there will be more remote working. How do we keep teams together and functioning properly and bouncing off each other and still giving those aspects of work that are really important. I think that's going to be a massive challenge. And then even economically, you think about what does it mean for markets, and I mentioned before property values as an example of that. What does that mean for balance sheets and the impact on investment? I think there's a whole lot of these sorts of things which will emerge over time, and models. I was talking to some CEOs this morning. I was in a meeting, and we were talking about the middleman getting cut out of the distribution channels. So the ability for anybody to get access to a product or service directly without going through a wholesaler or a retailer has suddenly become a lot more normal, and the level of online purchases is growing exponentially at the moment. Now that's probably not going to go back to what it was before. So that's another challenge for a whole lot of businesses that are in that distribution chain, that they're going to have to start dealing with that.
So talent, investment markets, and also the more digital world and how that impacts on supply chain. So it's really big to go into. So, well, thanks for your time today, Grant. As I said earlier, we opened up. This is an important leadership series we're rolling out to give people's perspectives from a BDO point of view, and we thank everyone for taking the time to listen to us today. So thanks a lot.
Thanks everyone. Thanks, Tony.